Hey YouTube, welcome back to Universe X, and yeah, when I started this channel, I was heavily leaning into Dragon Ball, but this is an anime in general channel, and you can see the other half of my backdrop is indeed a Gundam. So, it is crazy that I am covering today a new Gundam series that is not Universal Century, no, not Alternative Century, no, but supposedly, rumored, an alternative Universal Century storyline, and that is called Gundam GQUUUUX. Yeah, look, I really don't know what this is called. Somebody's going to have to help me. If you know the pronunciation in the comments, let me know. But there is a whole trailer over here on YouTube. I fear the copyright gods, so I will not be showing it, but the link will be in the description. But I just want to talk and break down about this new series, and so I hope you guys enjoy the content. If you like it, like the video, and if you love it, maybe even subscribe, because we are going to do all sorts of things here. Dragon Ball, Gundam, I'm going to be putting my Kingdom Hearts streams back on here, just you name it, and we're this close to 1,000, so every little bit would help. But with that out of the way, we are going to hop into the details that we know about this. Alright, so I'm going to try to make sure I keep all this condensed as possible, but first we've got a little synopsis as well as the poster art. Just looking at the poster art, this thing looks so beautiful. So beautiful. They look to be using a mix of 3D animation with the 2D to really give this like cool feel, this like techno feel. You can see that this Gundam has like a Zaku axe, a heat axe or whatever, and that is really cool. In this picture you can see some of the characters in here. I think 2 out of the 3 main characters are in this picture, and we will get to them a little later, but I'm definitely digging the axe. I always thought that was one of the cooler weapons in the Zaku's arsenal. Now, looking at this plot, right? Story. This is a translation, and I believe this is correct, but hey, take it with a grain of salt, not all the details are out yet. In the year Universal Century 0079, the Space Colony Cluster Side 3 on the far side of the moon, now calling itself the Principality of Zeon, declares its independence and launches a war against Earth Federation. Now, a young hero of the Principality forces, Char the Red Comet, manages to capture the Federation Force's state-of-the-art Gundam mobile armor. Piloting the Red Gundam, he drastically changed the course of the war, leading to the Principality Forces to victory, or leading them to victory. And then in now it's the year Universal Century 0085. 5 years after the end of the war, Amate, a high school student living quietly inside 6, faces a turning point in her life where she meets the smuggler Nian and a boy named Shuji who pilots the Red Gundam. Now, if you've watched the trailer, it's they don't refer to it as Amate, they refer to her as Machu. So that's the one little translation issue on here. But this states that this is an alternative century within the Universal Century storyline where Char stole the Gundam. He succeeded in stealing the Gundam, and this is what happens 10 years down the line. That is so crazy. Now, to think that they would go from 0079 technology to this, I guess it's just the animation style that makes it look so different, but it is crazy seeing this happen. But yeah, so we got our first, as far as we know, alternative inside Universal Century. I guess you could count Turna Gundam, kind of, but yeah, this is actually just really interesting. Now, moving over to the character sheets, right? You have them right here. The main character seems to be Machu, and you can see she's kind of got this like little bowl bob, like a pinkish reddish hair with these like teal highlights or shines, and that's pretty cool. Looks a little spacey, but that's cool. And then you've got Neon, who's apparently the smuggler, and then you've got another person named Shuji. Now, from what we know, Shuji actually pilots the Red Gundam. So we don't know if there's any relation to Char, but I don't see Char ever just giving that Gundam up for no reason. And we're gonna get into that a little later in this clip. So this is actually just like really cool. So you've got the trio, and I mean, for what it's worth, they kind of look a little childlike, but the whole art style is like, it's interesting. It's like techno pop, if that makes sense. That's the vibe it's giving me. Now, going over, we see more from Machu. We see her school clothes, and then we can see her in the Gundam, her Gundam suit. And I think the Gundam suit's cute. It kind of looks like a little workout suit. It's weird there's a beanie instead of a helmet, but it is what it is. Like I said, techno pop. And then moving over to this next slide, right? We got a Mobile Suit Red Gundam. It was originally a mobile suit of the Federation Army, but was captured by Char after he became aware of the development plans, and was subsequently painted red and became his favorite suit. Towards the end of the war, it suffered Saikamu incident that wiped out all of the Solomon forces and then went missing along with Char. After the war, Shuji appears in the Red Gundam that appears inside 6, along together with Machu. They take part in a clan battle. So this is going to answer one of my questions, because I was wondering how the Gundam looks so different, and this is showing that this is how RX-79 looked. I guess it was technically RX-78, but this is how it looked before it was taken. That is the look. So that is what the original Gundam looks like in this plot line, in this timeline. And it was taken and painted red by Char and became his favorite. Look at all those fins. Now, here's another cool thing. It appears that in this storyline, the Saikamu was not something that was developed as late as Char's counterattack, but actually in the beginning of this. Like, for this Gundam to have funnels, it has to have a Saikamu frame, if I'm not mistaken, because there's no other way to control that without the spatial awareness of a new type and the Saikamu frame. So this is actually very, very, very interesting. A very weird look to it, but for some of you guys, this may seem very reminiscent, especially once it's painted red, to another thing called Evangelion, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. So we're gonna get into this. Oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack here. Sorry, I'm geeking out. This is like some of my first times looking at this. Now we have got the Mobile Suit Rise Heavy, and this seems to be the prototype for the main character's Gundam. You can see it in the legs and the feet and the shoulders. But Mobile Suit Gundam Rise Heavy, a new mobile suit belonging to the Sharia Ball unit. Its development is codenamed Alpha Killer. It's equipped with an Omega Saikamu, the development of which was banned after the war, and only special new types can activate it. Machu pilots it in the first episode, and it becomes his beloved machine after that. So they're saying Amate, and is this Amate? I thought this was Machu. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure that like that's a her. So I don't know. These things are a little weird. Maybe it's another whole character. Maybe I'm missing something. Amate, high school student. Okay, so yeah, there's just a bunch of mistranslations, it seems like, but we'll get those ironed out soon. Now, looking at this, you really do have, you can see the base for this, but the Omega Saikamu, we need to see what this is. I want more information about the Omega Saikamu. But yeah, moving over, you can see Shuji, and he's clearly standing in front of the Red Gundam. You can see it's like upgraded like thigh plates and the color scheme. So he's got the Red Gundam. Like I said, I want to know if there's some sort of link to Char. And on top of that, anytime they can bring back Char, they like bringing back Char. And so far, we haven't seen a dude with a mask. So it wouldn't surprise me if Char was in here and just laying low after maybe getting injured, or maybe he's even like mentally damaged after the SciComm incident. We have to figure out. But going over here, we see this like really cool looking frame from the trailer, where it looks like the new Gundam is holding a fin, and then in the trailer, if you watch it, she spins around and smashes the funnel with another funnel. Now, this is cool. It seems like the 3D animation really allows you to get a sense of that they're in like a cylinder, like a colony, as it rotates around them. So I think that this is a good choice. It may people hear 3D animation, they get, ugh, but this is a good choice, I think. And then we're looking over here at the written by, you know, Yoji. Oh, this is actually a whole thing. I'm not going to try to mispronounce all his names, because like I probably would. But this is the reason why we're sitting over here with so much like crazy stuff in the influence as well. So it's written by Yoji Inkido, and he was one of the writers on Fooly Cooly and Utina. Now, I love Fooly Cooly. I love Fooly Cooly. It's one of my favorite animes growing up, and they made a whole different level of sense when I was an adult as a coming of age story. So I'm excited for this. But that shot where like she was like running down the Gundam arm, it reminded me of Haruko, and like it just directed by Kazuya Tsurumaki. And he's also from Fooly Cooly, so you can see some of that, some of those angles. You can see that in this trailer. Now, The character designs are by Take, who's worked on Pokemon Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon, so you can definitely see those with the kind of like, when we went to Alola, you can see how everybody kind of got like, not degressed, but they look very childlike, and you can see that shine through in the character designs here. But then the mechanical designs are by Ikuto Yamashita, and that is Evangelion. So it is so crazy that you can see so much from the movement, from the choreography, from the character designs, from literally the just the mechs themselves. You can see the influence, and I'm sure that when we actually get into the story, you're gonna see a lot of good coming to age themes. If it's written by some of the people that were on Fooly Cooly, you are going to bet you're gonna get some of those things that bring you back to a position of like wondering, like, man, like these may be like childhood times, but like the emotions, the situations, the decisions, you can see some of those. So I think this is overall gonna feel really good, despite people getting mad at the Gundam's animations. Now, looking at speaking of that scene I was talking about, you literally have it right here. I put it on the screen, just them running down. I'm vibing it. I'm vibing it right now. She doesn't look as dorky in animation sometimes, especially when there's like movement involved. Now, we also got the high grade look at this Gundam. Mobile Suit Gundam GQUUUUX. I don't know how they're pronouncing this. Somebody save me. But you have the high grade right here, and it's looking pretty cool. Now, moving over, we're gonna look at some of the shots from it. You have literally got its front view. This definitely looks very, very mechanical. Sometimes the Gundams cover up everything, and so you definitely kind of don't see like the behind the scenes, if that makes sense. You see the armor, you see the plating. But here, like, look at the shoulder joints. You can see where they're connected, where it moves. Look at the legs. You can actually see what look to be like pistons or like fuel leg lines. I hope they're not fuel lines, so that'd be really easy to kind of clip. But you see that. It looks very mechanical, but the smoothness, all like the little connecting bits, gives a very Evangelion feel. It makes it look like something that could be partially organic. Then you look at the back view. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about the legs. I don't like the leg to knee joints personally. It looks like it doesn't look humanoid enough for me. But like I said, I'm gonna get this. I'm going to build it, and I'm going to have a great time with it when it's master grade. If you guys don't know, I have a thing with master grades. All my models are master grades, and I still need to work on my backlog. So maybe I should stop talking about getting more things. Look, point being, this looks good. This looks good. Like I said, I love the heat axe. I love the heat axe. The shield looks nice. The boosters look a little wonky for me, but I'm gonna get used to them. I think they look pretty tight overall. You got this in a kick. Now this is the one thing I don't like, and I'm sure it might be a little different once we get to master grade. I want to see what the view looks like in the anime, but these weird little like egg pine cone looking things with the hollow space in it, I'm not digging that. Now if the hollow space has like mad boosters, like if this thing like takes off like a rocket and only like, you know, like jet fire comes out of them, I might feel like, if those were its thrusters, I might feel a little better about that. But the hollow space, I know sometimes the high grades are just going to do high grade things because they're not going to be as filled in as the master grades. So I am not quite mad about that. But yeah, this is interesting. I want to see what it looks like. And then we have this this fetal form. I guess maybe it's like resting form or how it's originally found. Or maybe there's going to be an emotional scene where she curls up, and because she's connected to the psycho frame, it's going to curl up too. You know, we don't know yet. But we also see something that I don't notice on the high grade, because you can still see the eyes and the V-fin. And people are kind of mad about calling this a V-fin. But you can see how in this trailer, it starts as down when it's in its like off mode, and then it comes up when it's ready to activate. And I can see why on a high grade they wouldn't do this, but it's probably going to be that way on the master grade. I'm just a little scared because that's a really easy piece to break from experience. So I would rather it be stationary in the master grade, but maybe in the perfect grade it would just, if they probably will, if this gets popular enough, they'll make a perfect grade, and maybe then like move, it'll be attached to some metal, some screws, things like that. And then we have a shot with the sword, and the swords are interesting. They're like sabers. They're not like beam sabers traditionally, but they seem to actually be like, you have a handle that's just like almost like a D, and then they hold that, and then it's just like this beam saber comes out of it. It looks cool. It makes it a little wider. It's like a heat loop kind of, and I have to get used to it, but I think it looks pretty cool. Then this last little page here, is just a bunch of different poses. The front pose, the back pose, and another pose with the sword. I think overall I could really get used to this, and there's so much talent on the roster for this anime that I actually cannot wait to watch it myself. So let me know how you guys feel about this. I am definitely excited for a new step in the Gundam mythos, even if this isn't quite Universal Century, it's alternative century. I think there's a lot that can be said here. I think we have a lot of talent on here. Like I said, a lot of my fan favorites. I love Evangelion, I love Fooly Cooly, and I love Gundam. So seeing so many themes and influences all in the same like project, I think there's going to be a lot of good story. I think there's going to be a lot of cool sequences, and I'm ready for this one. I'm ready for this. And not to mention, I gotta give the plug on my other channel, UniX TCG, where I go over card games. Gundam the card game is actually, I saw moving my thumb, is actually going to be a thing launching in 2025. And you already know that when this like anime starts circulating, whatever set is around there, we're probably getting a starter deck, we're probably getting, and we're definitely going to be getting cards in set. So I can't wait to see this because there's going to be so much hype around it. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know a lot of people are giving this pushback, but hey, people gave Iron-Blooded Orphans pushback too when we saw the Gundam designs, and guess what? People loved it over time. So keep your minds open, or don't. Let me know how you feel in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you like it, like the video, and if you love it, subscribe. Almost at 1,000. Love y'all.